reality sets in, and we're here.
Respect isn't given, it's earned in blood.
Boxing King Media, we're out here in Sheffield. Frank Smith. Before we speak about anything, I just want to speak about the funeral of Ricky Hatton today. I understand you went there. Just if you want to share some moments from that, and how was the experience?
Yeah, look, it was a wonderful send-off for such an amazing man. It was amazing to see thousands and thousands of people out on the streets for him. Obviously, everyone who turned up, was in the cathedral as well. A tough day, obviously, for his family and everyone who knew him well, and wish them all the best. But yeah, what a send-off for such a hero.
What's the biggest thing you took from that on a humanity level away from boxing?
Look, Campbell, especially someone we work with, and probably someone I know the closest out of the family, to see how he spoke up there with such bravery, and everyone, it was amazing to see. And you never know what people are going through, or never can imagine what people are going through. And I think the key is just the messaging of always talk. It's all you can take away, and hope that you can help other people off the back of that. But yeah, an amazing send off, as I say, for a man who was just such a nice bloke, a normal guy, who deserved everything he had in life. And yeah, you don't see it very often. And that's when someone's truly loved. When you see moments like that today, the footage that people would have seen, those streets lined with people, they honestly loved him.
100% thoughts and wishes are with Ricky and his family. Talking about the boxing, I was going to introduce you as Frank Rambo after your acting debut the other week. Frank Rambo, how does that sound?
Got a ring to it, innit? I mean, I'm not sure my acting career will flourish. Eddie has been taking the piss, saying I asked to go in the promo myself. I can confirm it was nothing to do with me. It was actually Alex Haynes somewhere over here said, "You're going to appear in the promo and go like this." I was thinking, what on earth am I doing in the promo? So I was just unpaid extra.
Stuff. Just some. I know you've answered a lot of the questions already. I just want to clarify with regards to Ben signing, because once when the negotiations were ongoing and we didn't know what was going to happen with regards to where he goes, there was rumours online that it was to do with the TV clause in his contract, because Boxer didn't have a TV deal with Sky anymore. He was free to discuss whatever with anyone, basically. Was that how his contract expired? Is that how you guys got in?
Look, he's the only person who can talk. He's a free agent. He's a contract that expired with Boxer. He's the only person who can talk on those terms. They're confidential between those two parties. All we can confirm is we waited until the day he confirmed he was a free agent. We didn't make any approaches prior to that because, as I've always said, we will always wait until the day a fighter's free and clear from their contract, and then we'll have a discussion if there's interest there. And as with everyone in the business, there was a lot of interest in Ben Whittaker. But I can't talk on the confidential affairs of his contracts, between him and Boxer, because it's not my place.
Do you know if any other promoters made a play for him, officially with a contractual offer?
I think everyone did. From what I'm conversations with every promoter, as you would, in that position. As I said, he's a hot commodity. He's probably the biggest commercial asset in boxing. Who was a free agent at the time, everyone would be looking for him. So, the depths of what conversations got to where, I don't know. But I do know every promoter would be after him.
Obviously, there's a lot of boxer fighters that people are saying that they could be free because of this TV clause. Obviously, Adam Azim's signed a new deal with Boxer. Was he ever in the thinking of Matchroom? Did you guys speak to him?
No, it's not a discussion we had. There's certain fighters. It was always quite open about from 3.5 years ago. We were very close to a deal with Ben Whittaker. We didn't make it happen, but we did this time, and we always felt that when the opportunity arose, we would push very hard to get him. I've spoken about other fighters, the likes of Vidal Riley, who's a free agent. He's a brilliant fighter who I've had discussions with him, and I met with him a few weeks ago. I met with his team as well. There's opportunity there, but outside of that, not really any other fighters. But we will always, if a hot commodity comes up who's a free agent, we'll always look at them, have a discussion.
I want you to kind of correct a bit of a narrative that's on X. I don't know if you read a lot of the stuff that gets put out on there. I was reading some stuff the other day about the zone, people saying the zone are losing billions every year, etc. But if you actually look into it, they're actually making billions. What they're doing is they're reinvesting the money they're making, which isn't really being put out there. So I don't know if you know that, or maybe you can put it out there.
Now, look, I can't talk on DAZN's financials. I don't represent DAZN. All I can say is they're in a great place, you know, and you have to look, they're a huge global business that operates not just boxing, but the biggest rights around the world in multiple territories. Every weekend they've got huge events going on, whether it's the Serie A, whether it's the La Liga, whether it's the Champions League, whether it's the J League in Japan. Like, these are huge operators in the sports rights industry. I can't speak on their financials. Businesses like that take a huge amount of investment to get them to where they are. That's the reality of it. Look at these huge companies you use every day. Look at Uber. Look at all these businesses. They take investment to get them to the point when, you know, to grow to where they believe they can get to. It's no different to any other business, especially tech business across the world. But, you know, all I can say is, without talking on behalf of DAZN, things are in a great place. You know, things are in a great place, and we're excited about what the future holds with them.
Before I asked you that question, I did do my own research, and from what I saw, they are making money, they're just reinvesting it. But I think what was being highlighted on X was that they're just losing money and they're going to go bankrupt, which is obviously quite false. So I just wanted to correct that. The other thing I wanted to speak to you about, you've got there's a set amount of fans on X that I've got it in for Matchroom. You guys have done what, 9,000 tickets here, and from what I've read, you've done something similar in Philadelphia. There's people out there saying you haven't done that, so can you correct that as well?
Well, that's the world we live in. Everyone wants to shoot things down. It's like when people talk about British boxing, oh, it's not in a good place. We are going to have even more than 9,000 here on Saturday night. We're going to have close to 19,000, 20,000 in Belfast 2 weeks ago. So this whole thing that British boxing is dead is crazy. In Philadelphia, Boots is one of the only fighters that is selling tickets. That's the reality of it. But people love to hate, you know. People with a lot of time on their hands creating narratives, that's what they do.
Very correct. It's worth correcting these narratives. The other thing I wanted to ask you, what did your missus make of you being dressed as a Rambo?
When was I dressed as Rambo?
He was like more like Commando. Do you remember Arnie in Commando?
When was that?
The Ben Whittaker trailer.
Oh, that promo.
Yeah. You forgot that already?
I forgot what my outfit was. You know, look, I'm going for all of Jason Statham's roles now. I've said it. I think there's a huge opportunity out there for me. You know, as Jason gets into those mid-50s, he's looking tremendous, but he might not want to do it for much longer. And I think there's a real opening for me there.
Definitely. What about underwear modeling? We saw Dave Allen make his underwear modeling debut the other week. What did you kind of make of that? Random as hell, isn't it?
Lovely. He looks lovely in a pair of pants. Nice bum. You know, I hope the opportunity arises for me. That's why I'm working so hard with Kai in the gym, so I can get in there, get one of those modelling shoots and get paid a few quid.
You forgot to say no, did he, when he said no, nice bum? You're going to get...
Just saying he's got a nice bum. There's nothing wrong with saying he's got a nice bum. A lot of people have got nice bums.
Anyone else? What about Eddie?
I mean, I've got a long list of people with nice bums.
You're gonna dig a bigger hole here, Frank. Regards to November, we've been told that Ben's going to make his debut potentially end of November. I've always like to do a bit of research. I'm finding out that there's not many venues available on the 29th. So does that mean you're going to go on the Friday or Sunday?
Don't worry about it. I read all these things as well. Yeah. That's our job. And everything's good. I promise you everything's good. Ben Whittaker will make his debut, it looks like the end of November. There will be a venue for it.
It will be that last weekend, I'm assuming.
Yeah, not Friday or Sunday.
Birmingham?
That's the aim.
Oh, any other fighters on that undercard we could potentially see?
Yes, but I'm not giving it away. Because then otherwise there's no announcement, is there? About anything.
What about opponents for Ben Whittaker? I thought of one the other day because I saw him fight last week in Nigeria, Dan Aziz.
Yeah, I don't think that would be an opponent. I mean, actually working on a fight for Dan Aziz at the minute. I don't think that would be the opponent, though, for Ben Whittaker. We're working through that now. I think hopefully in the next 24 hours we'll have everything in line.
Frank Smith, we just started. Thank you very much. Cheers.
You know, the dreams do come true. Reality sets in. You know, we here.
is very